Hello everybody, welcome to my channel.
Jennifer Beals is an American actress and former teen model whose career spans over 4 decades, known for her versatility, intelligence, and enduring presence in both film and television. She first rose to international fame in the 1980s and has since built a reputation as an artist who chooses projects that challenge stereotypes and expand representation. Early life and education. Jennifer Beals was born on December 19, 1963, in Chicago, Illinois. She grew up in a multicultural household. Her father was African American and her mother was Irish American, which deeply influenced her outlook on identity and culture. Tragically, her father passed away when she was just 9 years old. Beals found comfort in the arts, particularly in theater and storytelling, which became her pathway into acting. She attended the progressive Francis W. Parker School in Chicago, where she first began experimenting with performance. After high school, she was admitted to Yale University, where she majored in American literature. Beals took breaks from her studies to pursue acting work but ultimately graduated in 1987, proving her commitment to both education and career. Breakthrough with Flashdance. Beals's big break came in 1983 with the romantic drama Flashdance. At just 19 years old, she was cast as Alexandra (Alex) Owens, a steel mill worker by day and aspiring dancer by night. The film became a cultural phenomenon, grossing over $200 million worldwide and earning an Academy Award for Best Original Song, Flashdance. What a feeling! Beals's performance, with its mix of grit and vulnerability, turned her into an icon of 1980s cinema. Despite her newfound fame, she chose to return to Yale to finish her degree, which set her apart from many of her contemporaries. Career in film and television. Although Beals never replicated the blockbuster success of Flashdance, she steadily built a career on her own terms. She worked in independent films, dramas, and art house projects, often gravitating toward roles that explored issues of identity, race, and gender. Some of her notable films include Devil in a Blue Dress, 1995, opposite Denzel Washington; The Book of Eli, 2010, with Denzel Washington again; and Before I Fall, 2017. On television, Beals found enduring success. Her most celebrated role came with Showtime's The L Word, 2004-2009. In which she played Betty Porter, a powerful and complex art gallery director navigating love, ambition, and identity. The show was groundbreaking for its representation of lesbian and bisexual women on mainstream television, and Beals's performance was praised for its depth and nuance. She reprised the role in The L Word, Generation Q, 2019-2023, continuing to shape conversations around LGBTQ+ visibility. Beals has also appeared in other major series, including Taken, Swamp Thing, and The Book of Boba Fett, showcasing her versatility in both drama and action genres. Personal life and beliefs. Outside of acting, Beals is known for her intellect and wide-ranging interests. She is an advocate for diversity in Hollywood, particularly for better representation of people of color in the LGBTQ+ community. A practicing Buddhist, she often speaks about mindfulness and compassion as guiding principles in her life. Beals has been married twice. First to filmmaker Alexander Rockwell, 1986-1996, and later to entrepreneur Ken Dixon, with whom she has a daughter. She is also a passionate supporter of charitable causes, including organizations that focus on women's rights, education, and the environment. Legacy and influence. Jennifer Beals remains a figure of resilience and integrity in Hollywood. Rather than chasing fame, she has consistently chosen projects that resonate with her values and artistic curiosity. Flashdance cemented her place in pop culture, While her work on the L Word made her a key figure in the fight for LGBTQ+ representation on screen, her career illustrates the power of longevity and reinvention, with Beals continuing to inspire audiences not only with her performances but also with her commitment to authenticity and advocacy. Expanding career highlights. After her star-making role in Flashdance, Jennifer Beals navigated her career carefully, balancing mainstream Hollywood with independent cinema. Though she sometimes turned down roles that could have kept her in blockbuster territory, her choices reveal a deep respect for storytelling and character complexity. Film work. In the 1980s and 1990s following Flashdance, Beals appeared in a mix of projects, including The Bride, 1985, where she starred opposite rock musician Sting in a gothic reimagining of the Frankenstein story. Though the film was not a commercial success, it demonstrated Beals's willingness to take risks. In 1992, she took on a groundbreaking role in the Soup, an independent comedy drama directed by her then-husband Alexander Rockwell. The film was acclaimed at Sundance and cemented her credibility in indie circles. One of her most notable performances came in Devil in a Blue Dress, 1995, a neo-noir mystery film starring Denzel Washington. Beals played Daphne Monet, a wealthy woman with a secret racial identity, a role that allowed her to explore themes of race and social perception, issues she has often engaged with in her career. 2000s, television renaissance. While her film career remained steady, television gave Beals a second major wave of visibility. The L Word, 2004 to 2009, was a groundbreaking series not only for its portrayal of queer women but also for its complex, multifaceted characters. Beals's portrayal of Betty Porter was at the heart of the show, a driven, ambitious, yet vulnerable woman who struggled to balance her career, family, and relationships. Critics lauded her performance, and she became an important cultural figure in the LGBTQ+ community. Beals herself has often said that portraying Betty deepened her understanding of representation and the importance of telling marginalized stories with respect and authenticity. 2010s and beyond. In the 2010s, Beals continued to alternate between film, network television, and streaming projects. She starred in NBC's action thriller Taken, 2017-2018. Based on the popular film franchise, and appeared in DC Universe's Swamp Thing, 2019, as Sheriff Lucilia Cable. In 2019, she reprised her role as Betty Porter in the L Word, Generation Q. The revival not only introduced a new generation of characters but also gave Beals the opportunity to revisit Bet's journey as a woman in midlife, navigating politics, parenthood, and identity in a rapidly changing social landscape. Most recently, Beals appeared in Disney Plus' The Book of Boba Fett, 2021-2022, expanding her presence into the Star Wars universe. Acting style and reputation. Jennifer Beals is often described as an actress of intellectual depth and emotional restraint, able to communicate nuance and complexity through subtle expressions. Unlike many stars of her generation, she has largely avoided typecasting, moving fluidly between genres: romance, noir, thriller, fantasy, and science fiction. Her biracial identity also influenced how she approached Hollywood. Beals has spoken candidly about the challenges of navigating an industry that often tried to confine actors of color into narrow roles. Instead of conforming, she embraced diverse and layered characters, paving the way for broader representation. Off-screen life and advocacy. Beals has been a strong voice for social justice and inclusion. She has supported LGBTQ+ rights for decades and often speaks about the responsibility of media to reflect real diversity. In addition, she is active in organizations focused on women's equality and environmental conservation. She practices Buddhism, which informs her approach to both life and work. Beals often emphasizes compassion, mindfulness, and the importance of finding balance, values that have guided her career choices. Outside of her advocacy, Beals is known for being private about her personal life. She has one daughter with her husband Ken Dixon, and she tends to keep family matters out of the spotlight, choosing instead to let her work and causes speak for her. Cultural impact and legacy. Jennifer Beals occupies a unique place in Hollywood history. As the star of Flashdance, she helped define 1980s pop culture, becoming an icon for independence, strength, and style. As Betty Porter in The L Word, she became a trailblazer in modern television, shaping representation and pushing boundaries around sexuality, race, and gender. Her career is also a testament to longevity on her own terms. Beals has consistently chosen projects that reflect her values rather than chasing stardom. And she continues to be respected as an artist of integrity. She remains an influential figure, admired by fans and peers for her ability to combine grace, intellect, and advocacy with a lasting Hollywood career. Chronological career timeline with highlights. Early career and breakthrough. 1980s. 1980 appeared in My Bodyguard, her first small film role, while still a high school student. 1983 Flashdance became a worldwide hit, cementing her place as one of the decade's defining stars. Beals was nominated for a Golden Globe for Best Actress in a Musical or Comedy. Her leg warmers, off-the-shoulder sweatshirt, and dance scenes became iconic in fashion and pop culture. 1985 starred in The Bride Opposite Sting, a gothic fantasy take on the Frankenstein myth. Despite its box office disappointment, it showcased her interest in unusual projects. 1987 graduated from Yale University with a degree in American literature, showing her commitment to education despite Hollywood fame. Exploring independent and international film. 1990s. 1992 appeared in The Soup, directed by Alexander Rockwell, her then husband. The film won the Grand Jury Prize at Sundance. 1995 earned strong reviews for Devil in a Blue Dress, playing Daphne Monet, a woman passing for white in 1940s Los Angeles. Her performance added gravitas to the neo-noir classic and remains one of her most acclaimed roles. 1997 appeared in Four Rooms and Wishful Thinking, independent projects that emphasized her attraction to character-driven storytelling. Television work and breakthroughs. 2000s. 2000 to 2003 guest starred in series like Frasier, Law and Order, SVU, and The Outer Limits, showing her flexibility in both comedy and drama. 2004 to 2009 landmark role in The L Word as Betty Porter. The series, running for 6 seasons, became one of Showtime's most successful and culturally significant shows. Beals's performance was hailed as layered, with Betty embodying both strength and fragility. Later career. Genre and action roles. 2010s. 2010 appeared in The Book of Eli as Claudia, opposite Denzel Washington. The post-apocalyptic action film expanded her presence in larger-scale projects. 2011-2012 starred in The Chicago Code, a police drama where she played Superintendent Teresa Colvin, one of the most powerful women in law enforcement on television at the time. 2013 co-starred in Lauren, a web series tackling military sexual assault, demonstrating her interest in socially conscious projects. 2017-2018 played Christina Hart in NBC's Taken, an action thriller prequel to the Liam Neeson films. 2019 appeared in Swamp Thing, playing Sheriff Lucilia Cable, further broadening her roles in genre TV. Recent projects. 2020s. 2019 to 2023 returned as Betty Porter in The L Word, Generation Q, reprising her iconic role while exploring themes of aging, power, and personal evolution. 2021-2022 joined the Star Wars universe in the Book of Boba Fett, playing Garsa Fwip, a Twi'lek Cantina owner with authority and allure. Continues to act in both television and film, while maintaining her work as an activist and advocate. Influence on fashion and pop culture. Jennifer Beals has had two major waves of influence. 1980s, the Flashdance era. The off-the-shoulder sweatshirt she wore in the film became a global fashion trend, symbolizing casual athletic chic. The film's dance sequences influenced music videos and youth culture throughout the decade, with Madonna citing Beals's Flashdance look as an inspiration for her own early style. The movie's themes of independence and ambition resonated with young women, making Beals an emblem of empowerment. 2000s, the L-Word legacy. Beals's portrayal of Betty Porter helped redefine what powerful women could look like on TV. Sharp suits, professional elegance, and unapologetic confidence. The series influenced LGBTQ+ visibility in mainstream media, paving the way for more inclusive storytelling. Her role became iconic in queer culture, cementing her as a symbol of representation and empowerment for women's voices. Personal philosophy and advocacy. Buddhism and mindfulness. Beals has practiced Buddhism for decades, often crediting it with keeping her grounded. She speaks about compassion, patience, and the importance of stillness. Advocacy for equality. She has been outspoken on women's rights, racial equality, and LGBTQ+ inclusion. Her activism often aligns with her career choices, as seen in The L Word and Lauren. Privacy. Despite her fame, Beals is known for valuing her personal life. She rarely gives interviews about her family and prefers to focus on her work and advocacy. Legacy. Jennifer Beals's career arc is unusual in Hollywood. She became an instant star with Flashdance. Yet instead of chasing constant mainstream success, she chose a deliberate and intellectual path, emphasizing substance over fame. She has been an icon twice over, first in the 1980s for her groundbreaking movie role, and again in the 2000s for her defining television performance. Beals remains respected as a performer of integrity, grace, and depth, someone who brings thoughtfulness to every role. She continues to be admired by multiple generations of fans, from those who grew up in the Flashdance era to those who see her as Betty Porter, a woman who represents ambition, resilience, and representation. Detailed film and television breakdown. Film highlights. Flashdance, 1983. Beals's breakout role as Alex Owens made her an international star. She did not perform all the dancing herself. Stunt doubles and dancers filled in for some sequences, but her charisma and sincerity carried the film. The movie earned over $200 million worldwide and defined the working girl dreams big, 1980s genre. The Bride, 1985, though critically panned, Beals's portrayal of Eva, a reimagined Bride of Frankenstein, showed her interest in Gothic literary material. She has reflected on this period as part of her learning curve in Hollywood. In The Soup, 1992, an indie cult favorite. Playing Jennifer, Beals contributed to the film's quirky charm. It won the Sundance Grand Jury Prize and confirmed her credibility in indie cinema circles. Devil in a Blue Dress, 1995, perhaps her most acclaimed film role after Flashdance. Beals played Daphne Monet, a biracial woman, passing as white in 1940s Los Angeles. Her character embodied themes of race, secrecy, and power, adding emotional weight to the film. Critics praised her nuanced performance alongside Denzel Washington's The Book of Eli, 2010, a post-apocalyptic blockbuster where Beals played Claudia, a blind woman trapped in a violent world. She brought dignity and resilience to a secondary role, grounding the film's more stylized action sequences. Before I Fall, 2017, a yaw drama where she played the mother of the protagonist. Though a smaller part, critics noted how her presence added gravitas to the emotional core of the film. Television highlights The L Word, 2004 to 2009. Betty Porter was a career-defining role. Beals played her as sharp, ambitious, and deeply flawed, making Betty one of TV's most complex queer characters. Fans and critics alike praised how Beals avoided stereotype and instead delivered a layered portrait of a woman balancing identity, family, and love. The L Word. Generation Q, 2019 to 2023. Reprising Betty decades later gave Beals a chance to explore maturity and legacy onscreen. Betty was now a mother of a teenager and even ran for political office. This continuation deepened Beals's legacy in queer representation. The Chicago Code, 2011. Beals portrayed Superintendent Teresa Colvin, the highest-ranking woman in the Chicago Police Department. Though the show was short-lived, her role was praised for its authority and toughness. Taken, 2017-2018, played Christina Hart, the leader of a secret government agency. This role showcased her in action thriller mode, bringing gravitas and intelligence to a procedural setting. Swamp Thing, 2019. Beals's Sheriff Lucilia Cable was a morally conflicted law enforcer in a supernatural world. The series was short-lived but allowed Beals to expand into comic book-based storytelling. The Book of Boba Fett, 2021-2022, as Garza FWIP, the Twi'lek Cantina owner. Beals entered the Star Wars universe. Fans praised her regal, commanding presence and elegance. Globe activism and humanitarian work. Jennifer Beals is more than an actress. She's an advocate who integrates her beliefs into her life and work. LGBTQ+ advocacy has been a vocal supporter of LGBTQ+ rights since her time on The L Word. Often attends Pride events and speaks about the importance of representation in media. Actively involved in the Matthew Shepard Foundation, an organization that combats hate and advocates for LGBTQ+ equality. Women's Rights supports initiatives that promote gender equality in Hollywood and beyond. She has lent her voice to causes tackling violence against women and workplace harassment. The Lauren Webb series, 2012, reflected her commitment to social issues. It centered on military sexual assault, and Beals was praised for bringing attention to this under-discussed crisis. Environmental causes. An avid outdoors woman and
Bye bye. Thanks for watching. Bye.